Hussain, and the topic is Afghanistan and Pakistan. And of course, Ms. Hussain, let's allow you during this last segment to talk about, to continue in a real sense some of the information that Dr. AArain has already given us, but to talk about Pakistan in reference to the information, the foundation that he laid there.
Well, and besides having a family by marriage in Pakistan, my family in America has always been involved in the defense of the United States. My older brother was a naval officer during the Vietnam War. My two nephews fought in Iraq, and I have a nephew, George, right now fighting in Afghanistan. And I feel it is our duty as Americans, in remembrance of the blood that's been shed and the lives that are being risked, we have to learn from the lessons of history that Dr. AArain was referring to. We have to learn from our past mistakes and past successes, not to repeat the same mistakes. So I am very concerned that we had such a quagmire in Vietnam, a counterinsurgency war. We had to leave in disgrace and humiliation. I'm very concerned that the same thing will happen in Afghanistan. And one part of me, of course, wants that my nephew should have the best equipment and people should come and help him and he should be safe and secure. But the rational side of me wants him to be withdrawn from Afghanistan, because I agree with Dr. AArain that every time we kill a civilian in Afghanistan, that spawns more terrorists, more insurgents. It gets us deeper. It makes people hate us more. And in terms of Pakistan, I'm also very concerned about the drones that we're sending into Pakistan, the incursions that we're making over the Pakistan border. Every time we kill a Pakistani, he has brothers, he has sons, he has nephews, he has family, neighbors, community that then feel honor-bound to fight in his honor. So we create many more enemies than we eliminate. And that's my #1 concern. I think it would be a terrible mistake for President Obama to send more troops into Afghanistan. And I also think it would be a terrible mistake to use more drones, more cruise missiles, more incursions into Pakistan, and create more enemies than we have already.
Dr. AArain, do you see perhaps another kind of policy that would lead to perhaps assist in education, humanitarian needs, and etc., in a place like Afghanistan?
As well as in Pakistan, both of them will.
Yeah, but they're both the same. Yeah,
both of them will welcome non-military aid to build up their infrastructures, schools, and employment places. The problem is a lot of these fanatics or extremists are unemployed. There is poverty in that region. That's why they get recruited by Taliban. They are being paid in like thousands of dollars to go and commit suicide bombing, so their family can be taken care of. If we provide employment there, and this is a good thing that what U.S. aid is coming to Pakistan in the shape of Kerry Lugar bill. However, the Pakistanis have a concern about the strings attached to it. They like the idea of non-military aid, so we can set up schools, colleges, and all the other infrastructure there. But there are certain conditions which Pakistanis are in uproar because they want the Pakistani army to move the army from the eastern border with India towards the western border. Also, they would allow, they want us to allow drone attacks wherever U.S. wants. That is an encroachment on our sovereignty. And the other thing is that they want certain cities to be targeted, like Quetta and Muridke. These are the areas where allegedly there are some camps. But I think there is lack of trust between U.S. and Pakistan army, as well as the rulers. They should build trust, and they should empower Pakistanis and Pakistan army to take action against these camps.
But above all, I think you're simply saying what she has already said, is that we don't need to send any more troops there, because it would only create the worst situation in reality. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Hussain?
Right, and with this aid, we're now talking about giving $1.5 billion in aid to Pakistan, non-military aid, for 5 years, which would come to $7.5 billion. That could do a tremendous amount of good, or it could also backfire again if we do it in a heavy-handed way. Some of the things we're talking about is increasing the embassy in Islamabad to 1,000 Americans in order to oversee this aid. I think that will backfire against us. We don't want Pakistanis to feel they're in an occupied country like Afghans feel now. Another thing is that they're talking about they're buying the largest hotel in Peshawar to be the consulate there.
For the American.
Yes, we don't need to be that conspicuous.